We are a lovely bunch of YouTubers, diddly-dee. Here we are to entertain you. Obi Dave, I am Ash, here to make you laugh.
That seems like a very unsatisfying ending. It's anticlimactic.
Everyone said this in the comments, but I don't know.
It feels like...
Well, a few people have said this in the comments, but I don't know where to go with it.
Here's to make you laugh. Something about a giraffe.
There's a giraffe in my loft. A giraffe in my loft.
No, because then you've just switched up the whole rhythm of the whole thing.
I will redesign it. It'll.
No, you won't. Right then. We're going to do Mark Normand from This Is Not Happening.
Oh, I like Mark Normand.
Pursued by an armed maniac.
Okay.
So obviously This Is Not Happening is where they tell stories about their life.
Yes, yeah, we've done a couple, haven't we?
True stories of things that have actually happened. So, Mark Normand being pursued by an armed maniac. Are you ready for it?
I think so.
Let's go.
And I see him, I look in the side view mirror. It says, objects may appear closer than... Bow! He kicked it off with his bare foot. I'm like, holy shit! Lock the door, close the window. And he's just shaking the car. He's rubbing the knife up and down the car. He's like, God, get out of here, you fucking pussies!
Welcome to This Is Not Happening. I'm your host, Roy Wood Jr. The secret to a good hot tub threesome is waterproof... I just had a nightmare. He's trying to kill me. I don't know what happened. I just snapped. It was like Robin Hood on bath salts. I had a bow and arrow. I just kept firing him. I couldn't stop. He was just shooting at him. Oh my God. I guess I did kill him.
What a weird intro.
Yeah, just a little.
His hour special, Don't Be Yourself, is available now. Mark Normand, everybody.
I'll set the stage here. It's 1998. I was 15 years old, living in New Orleans. I had a weird group of friends. I wasn't really a jock. I wasn't really a nerd. I was just somewhere in the middle. I was just an angsty, semen-filled douchebag, you know, just a real piece of garbage. I had nothing going on. You wonder why you put kids in, like, extracurricular sports and shit, because when kids have time on their hands and you're just a boner constantly, you know, just jizzy and, you know, you're just full of natty ice and fear. I don't know, yeah. So me and my friends would just drive around. We'd just get drunk and drive around and break stuff in New Orleans. That's all we did. It was our little pastime. And one of our favorite pastimes was driving down the street and just breaking side view mirrors off cars with a Doc Marten shoe, just hanging out the window. I know. And I know you're supposed to make yourself likable in the story, but we were pieces of garbage. All right, yeah, just get that out right now. We had nothing going on. So we were just breaking car mirrors. That's what we did. And one night, it was like a random Tuesday. We're going down West End Boulevard. My friend Ron is driving. My other friend is in shotgun. He's since dead of a heroin overdose. Yeah. Don't do drugs. And I'm in the back with a case of beer, you know, just doing like color commentary, you know. And, you know, like, hey, here comes a Jeep Cherokee. Ho! We are really white trash. Holy hell, look at that. All right, wow. So we're drinking, we're having a good time, and we see one of those Lexus convertibles where the convertible top went into the trunk. Remember that? That was like a hot ticket back then. That was like a sweet ride. And so my friend's like, oh, here we go, baby. This is it. He like Babe Ruthed it. He called the shot, you know. He's like, I'm going to knock this mirror off. We're like, yeah, get it, baby. Don't do heroin, you know. And so I'm doing color commentary. We pull up to this car. You know, we're going like a good 20 miles an hour. He cocks that brown shoe back and boom, hits the mirror off. You can see it in slow motion, the big poof of glass, and it just slides across the cement. We drive by. We're looking at it like, yeah, good job. And right when it finishes sliding, I look up at the house in front of the car, and it's one of those houses where the stairs go up to the second floor porch, and just the screen door kicks open. Giant, buff, ripped Asian man in only boxers and a long ponytail just goes, ah! It was crazy, and I just was like, holy hell, look at that. Wow, it's quite a sight. Just a ponytail waving in the wind. Just big Asian man. Asian. Must have been Mongolian or something crazy like that, you know? So I was like, holy hell, wow, that's crazy. And we all look back.
What's that?
The one guy laughing is absolutely
Oh, yeah.
Crazy like that, you know? So I was like, holy hell, wow, that's crazy. And we all look back like, yeah, that's crazy, whatever. You know, when you're kids, you don't think about consequences. And he runs back in his house. And we're like, all right, well, that was weird. All right, on to the next car, whatever. And he comes back out with a giant kitchen knife, like 6 inches long, a real Ginsu, which might have been his name. I don't know. So this is like, what the hell is this? And he runs down the stairs, barefoot, boxers only, those white flimsy ones, you know, and just slides across his trunk and jumps in his car. We're like, ah! You know, we're freaking out. So I'm like, punch it, baby, get out of here. So he's driving, and we're in like a Jeep Wrangler. So this thing's got no pickup. So we're cutting all, and the guy comes up next to us. His ponytail's blowing in the wind. Asian, must have been Vietnamese or something, you know. So he pulls up to us, and he gives us one of these. He goes, ah! We're like, oh my God, holy shit, we're 15 years old, we're freaking out. So I'm like, go up here, take a right. We're cutting through lawns, we're going up one ways, we're going back through driveways. It was crazy. The guy was getting in front of us, hitting the brakes and getting on the side of us. We couldn't dodge this guy. We do this for like 20 minutes. We're freaking out. So I'm like, all right, Ron, get on the causeway. The causeway is the longest bridge in the southern United States. It goes from New Orleans to Mandeville. Nobody wants to be in Mandeville. It's a whole other bag of hammers over there. So I was like, he won't go on the causeway. He won't follow us the whole way. He'll give up. Let's go on the causeway. We have no other options. So Ron's like, all right, let's do it. So we get on that causeway. We're kind of losing him. We're weaving in and out. He's about 10 car lengths behind us. We're doing pretty good. So then start slowing down. What's going on? There's a 3-car pileup up ahead. Now we're just stuck in traffic. We're sitting there. We're parked. Ah, fuck. Holy shit. So I look back. It was like Jurassic Park. I look back. He's coming towards. I could see the water rippling in the cups, you know. I was like, oh, shit. And he just comes up, and I see him. I look in the side view mirror, our side view mirror. It says, objects may appear closer than the... Bow! He kicked it off with his bare foot. Our mirror goes sliding across the cement. We're like, holy shit. Lock the door, close the window. And he's just shaking the car. He's rubbing the knife up and down the car. He's like, God, get out of here, you fucking pussies. Ponytail waving the wind. Asian. Must have been Korean or something. You know? So, holy shit, we're free.
Mongolian, Vietnamese, and Korean.
That's like the, was it Mark Norman doing it the other day?
Yeah, it
where
was,
the
with
age
the
kept
age.
changing.
Yeah, it kept
and
changing.
it was like, must have been 76 years old, must have been like...
Yeah, she started off in her 40s.
It was Freddie Shacker's teacher, wasn't it?
Yeah, the drama teacher. Oh dear. She went from 41 to 56 to 68 to 68 to 73 or something. Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Korean or something, you know? So, holy shit, we're freaking out. Oh my God. So we're just screaming like little schoolgirls, and my friend Ron goes, wait, my mom has a cell phone in here for emergencies. It was the 90s. Remember, we had minutes, you know? I was like, give me that fucking phone. So we call the police. They dispatch us to the police, who happen to be at the 3-car pileup. So the police come over, and they see this giant Asian guy, ponytail, boxers, shaking a fucking Wrangler. And they're just like, what the hell is this? So they run over, they tackle the guy. He won't go down. There's like 8 cops on him. He's like, ah, kill all of you. He's got a knife in his hand. They tase that motherfucker. Ah. Holy shit, it was the whole thing. We're just watching this like, oh my God, we're 15. I haven't jerked off. I'm a virgin. I got a hymen. So, we're freaking out.
Also, isn't the legal driving age in America 16? Because it's 16 in Zimbabwe.
I think it's 16, yeah. But
it's 17 over here.
The driver might be 16.
The whole thing was crazy. So they bring him into the paddy wagon. They're pulling him. You know, he's dangling his feet. He wants to kill us. This guy would have killed us. And so they talk to him for a while. He's in the back, cuffed, you know. And then like 20 minutes later, they come up to us. They're like, all right, what the hell happened out there? Don't lie to me, son. And we pulled like a real like Catholic schoolboy, white privilege. Hey, we didn't do shit, officer. Oh, shucks, you know. This guy's crazy. He had a knife. And he's like, well, he said you knocked his mirror off. Well, maybe we hit it, but he showed us a knife. We were too scared. We didn't know what to do. We're sorry. We love Jesus. You know, so he was like, all right, sounds fishy, but whatever. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. So traffic kind of eventually picks up. We just pop a Yui on the causeway and go home. We're like, holy hell, we'll never break a side view mirror off again. That was insane. And then we get back to school the next day. We're like, you're not going to believe this. Some Asian guy was chasing us. It must have been Chinese. And, yeah, he was like talking shit. And I got out and he beat his ass and I bent his knife and he blew me. It was a whole thing. Yeah, this guy was a real pussy. Holy hell, yeah. So everybody's like, yeah, you guys are awesome, all right, and then I get called down to the office. And, I'm like, what's this about? Why am I getting called to the office? And then you get to the office, and the worst thing you can see is your other two friends from that night in the office. You're like, oh, fuck. And there's a cop in there. So you're like, oh, damn it. And he goes, all right, you've been served. We're getting sued. We got to go to court. We're being tried. So we're like, shit, what the fuck? Oh, my God, this guy's going to kill us. So I can't tell my parents. I can't tell them. I'm too scared. So I go to the chapel, and I go, hey, look, made a lot of mistakes in my life. I really need you here. Please, God, kill this guy. I'm begging you, kill him. Get him out of my life. I'll never do anything bad again. Please, I'm gay. Praise Allah. So we go to my friend's bedroom the night before. We stay up all night and do a mock trial in my friend's bedroom. We set the whole thing up. I put up my dad's robe on. I'm like, hear ye, all right, yeah. And, my other friends, the lawyer's like, I put you in contempt. I put myself in contempt.
Jesus.
I'll tell you what, you can't handle the truth. We just did every movie, thing we knew. And we made up a whole scenario that was pretty good. And we nailed it. We rehearsed it. We had it down. Stayed up all night. So I go to school that day with a suit in my bag, I got my old communion suit, it's all wrinkly and dumb and, whatever. And so I change into my suit at school, then me and my friends skip school, and we go to court. Weird feeling. So, yeah. Definitely a first time. So we get to the courthouse. They put us in the, in the courtroom. We're at that table, the three of us, three knuckleheads in wrinkly suits, and, probably a chubby, and we're just sitting there,
Jesus.
just, what are we doing? I'm just dreading the moment this guy comes in. I can't handle it, and, 10 minutes go by, 20 minutes go by, 30 minutes go by, and eventually the bailiff comes in, the cop guy. He goes, hey, you three, come here. And we're like, He's like, yeah, come here. And he walks us out into the hallway, and he kind of gets to like a little huddle, and he goes, all right, we're not going to have a trial today. And we're like, well, what's going on? They're like, well, the guy you pissed off got into a bar fight last night and killed a guy. So he's in jail for life. And I was like, holy shit, God missed, but I'll take it. Thanks a lot.
Oh my God.
What a story.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely... Surely they wouldn't have taken them to trial without... Because they're minors. They were classed as minors, weren't they?
I don't know.
Representation.
I mean, you can still go to court, but if he got served, then it might be that he was suing them in civil courts, so it's not criminal courts, potentially.
Fair enough.
So you could still, I presume, be liable for a hefty fine or damages. And they don't mess about with the fines they hand out in civil court.
No, they don't.
There's no, we award you $5,000. It seems like it's
emotional and any
everyone gets
loss
awarded
of work.
Millions, it seems like. Yeah, it's mad. What a great story, though.
It's mental.
They got lucky because obviously that guy was capable
of so much more.
Yeah, but would he have killed the guy if he wouldn't have been so wound up by those lot?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? But he must have been at that level because we've all been disappointed. Like I lost a wing mirror and I was really upset and I was really angry for about a day. But I wouldn't have gone and done that, even if I'd seen them out the window doing it. I'd have shouted, said some horrible things at them, phoned the police, but that would have been the end of it. I wouldn't have chased them down the road in a car chase and then assault them. Well, basically, because he attacked the vehicle. Like, that guy was on another level already of anger.
A lot of people I grew up with used to do what they call plant potting, and they'd smash plant pots in people's front gardens just for a chase. I never did it, flat out refused. I hated it.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And one of the times, one of my friends had a bike in a tube, from a tyre, just found it, threw it at someone's front window of the house while they were sat watching TV. Luckily, he wasn't trying to break it, he was just trying to get a chase from someone.
Yeah.
Turns out the guy's a cop. And the guy spent the whole evening chasing. And, it gets to the point where 2 hours later, I'm walking down the road with that mate. This guy comes bombing it down in his car, screeches, skids down the road, and my mate had to jump on the floor and hide under the car that was next to me.
Jesus.
And then the guy's going, I know it wasn't you, but I know you know him, and starts having a go. And I'm like, listen, mate, I didn't do anything, which I didn't, because I don't like fucking with people's property or vehicles and things. I think it's well out of order.
I think it's rude.
This was young. This was like teenage nonsense, but he was going to batter him. If he would have caught him, he would have been in a lot of trouble.
The only time I've been around something the same as you is like, I once had a group of friends at college. They didn't last very long as friends because we were out one night drinking, walking back, trying to find somewhere like a park where we could sit and have a naughty smoke and a few more drinks. And one of them decides to just hop onto the top of a car bonnet. And I was instantly like, that's ridiculous. Get down. Like, that's somebody's property. They've worked hard for this. They might even still be paying it off on a car finance. Don't be disrespectful. And a couple of the other mates were egging him on. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. He goes to climb on top of the roof, slips, goes through the front windscreen, gets up, and then they all disperse. Obviously, a couple of lights came on houses in the area. And I felt so fucking guilty that I went and knocked on a couple of doors where the lights had come on. And I was like, look, I was going home and I noticed some kids on a car. I tried to make them stop, but the one guy slipped and he's gone through a window. I don't know whose car it is. And the guy who I eventually found after a couple of doors, I felt so bad. The look on his face, he was like, what?
Where was this? Was it in the middle of Manchester?
It was off Wilbraham Road. Because I used to live... Yeah, so I used to live by Crowsdale, off Yew Tree Road.
Is it near the Territorial Army Barracks by any chance?
No, it was by the... It might have been, actually.
Because that happened to one of my mates, but they ended up catching the guy that did it. But it didn't hit the top of his car and everything.
It might have been.
When we were about 20, 21.
Oh, we were younger. I was like 15 at the time. No, 17. I was 17.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
But it was around that area. It was near Platfields Park, one of the exits that come out onto Wilbraham Road.
So if you go past Platfields Park, you've got the TA barracks on your left.
Yeah.
And as soon as the park finishes, you take that first left where the barracks are. That's the street he lived on, and someone did it to his car.
So, if you think about where, the Manchester City Academy was, down Yew Tree Road, that side of Platfield, we were walking down that way to get to Wilbraham Road.
Yeah.
And it was there on Wilbraham Road where one of the exits of that
Naughty
park.
People. Do you know the worst one I did?
I tried to stop it.
Do you know the worst one I did?
What?
We used to get... I wouldn't say harassed, but we used to have issues with the cops a little bit because we were all skateboarders and the place we grew up was quite nice and they just didn't get it. So it'd always be, forget the kids robbing people, you go for the skateboarders and give them hassle all the time. We used to get it quite a lot.
It's terrible.
And I was skating with that same mate that threw the tyre through the sort of village it was. And there was a cop car parked up in front of someone's house. And they were obviously in the house for whatever reason. And I skated up as fast as I could to the bonnet, popped the board so I caught it in my hand, and then ran across the top of the police car and jumped off the back of it onto my board, and then we just absolutely bombed it. The alarm started going off.
You're so terrible.
And I never did stuff like that really, but that one I was just a bit like, yeah, fuck you. I just went for it, and we just did one, allegedly.
I never did things like that. Never. Like I said, never spoke to that group of friends again. I was really disappointed.
You'd probably get shot in Zimbabwe doing stuff like that, though.
Well, it's not that. It's like I literally come from a place where everything you owned had so much value because everything else was falling apart. Like the small things that you did have. Yeah. And we got robbed a lot. Like, I've told you the stories. We got broken into loads. That's why we had a guard dog and, big barbed wire, all around the top of the fencing.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. So it's just to watch.
I know, privileged, stupid delinquent
privileged
behavior.
British people, kids doing it on purpose. I was like, I don't like you.
Let us know in the comment section the worst thing you've ever done.
Yeah. Tell us the stories.
Yeah. And we'll pin the worst thing that we read.
Yes.
We'll pin it as the top comment.
I like it.
Right, cheers for that one, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.